The basement was cluttered with old furniture, its only light a single flickering bulb. 5 friends sat cross-legged in a circle, their laughter fading as Jake placed the Ouija board on the floor. "Let's see if this thing actually works," he smirked. Emma rolled her eyes but placed her fingertips on the planchette alongside the others. At first, nothing happened, just the muffled sound of their breathing. Then, a cold draft seeped into the room. The planchette twitched. "Is someone here?" Sarah asked. Slowly, the pointer slid to yes. The group exchanged uneasy glances. Jake scoffed, but his fingers trembled. "What's your name?" The planchette dragged itself across the board, spelling, David. Silence. None of them knew a David. Then, the temperature dropped. The bulb above them buzzed violently before, **pop***, darkness swallowed the room. Someone gasped. A loud bang echoed from the corner, like a fist slamming against wood. Emma yanked her hands away. "We need to stop." But the planchette kept moving. Gut. They scrambled back, knocking over candles. The board flipped on its own, crashing against the wall. That night, Sarah woke to whispers. Her bedroom door creaked open, ***nothing there, downstairs, dishes rattled in the sink. Then, a shadow darted past the hallway mirror. The next day, Jake arrived pale-faced. "I saw him," he muttered. "A man, standing at the foot of my bed." But the worst was yet to come. During a late-night drive, Emma's voice suddenly deepened. "You shouldn't have stopped playing." Her head lolled back, eyes rolling white. The car swerved as her friends screamed. Then, just as suddenly, she gasped back to herself. What happened? The knocks grew louder. The nightmares more vivid. And every reflection showed something standing just behind them. They had invited David in. Now, he wouldn't leave. The abandoned Blackwell house stood rotting at the end of the street, its broken windows like hollow eyes. Ryan, a self-proclaimed skeptic, adjusted his spirit box, a ghost-hunting gadget that scanned radio frequencies, allowing spirits to speak through white noise. His camera crew followed close behind, their flashlights cutting through the oppressive dark. "If ghosts are real, give us a sign," Ryan challenged, smirking as static hissed from the device. At first, only garbled voices and radio snippets echoed through the speakers. Then, ***clear as day ***, a raspy voice cut through the noise. "Ryan, you look just like your father." The air left his lungs. The voice was unmistakably his grandfather's, dead for 10 years. The crew froze. Ryan's hands shook as he gripped the spirit box tighter. "How?" The voice returned, slower this time, each word dripping with eerie clarity. "Ask your mother about the fire." Ryan's blood turned to ice. His grandfather had died in a car accident, at least, that's what he'd been told. There was no fire. No secret. That night, Ryan confronted his mother. Her face drained of color. "Who told you that?" she whispered. Before he could answer, the lights flickered. A shadow shifted behind her, a tall, gaunt silhouette that wasn't there when he turned. The next few days blurred into a waking nightmare. Ryan's apartment became a prison of whispers. The spirit box turned on by itself, spewing his grandfather's voice, "You shouldn't have asked." His reflection in the mirror would smile when he didn't. Sleep became impossible. Every time he closed his eyes, the smell of smoke filled the room. Then came the nightmares. In them, Ryan stood in a burning house, his grandfather screaming from an upstairs room. "You have to tell the truth." But the flames swallowed him before Ryan could move. He woke gasping, his sheets damp with sweat. The spirit box on his nightstand crackled to life. "Now you know, but it's too late." Something stood in the corner of his room. Watching. Waiting. Ryan finally understood, some secrets weren't meant to be uncovered. And his grandfather wasn't the only one who'd followed him home. The iron gates of Willowbrook Asylum screeched as Mark pushed them open, his phone's flashlight illuminating peeling walls covered in decades of graffiti. The urban explorer adjusted his GoPro, speaking to his audience in a hushed tone. This place housed thousands of patients, and some say not all of them left. As he crept down the decayed hallway, floorboards groaned underfoot. Dust swirled in his light beam like agitated spirits. Mark pulled out his phone to record a voice memo, his standard practice for capturing EVPs. "If anyone's here, give us a sign," he challenged. Silence. Then, 3 distinct knocks from the empty room behind him. His breath hitched. Playing back the recording, his blood turned to ice. Beneath the static, a guttural whisper. "Mark." The voice didn't sound human. Laughing it off for his viewers, Mark left as the sun dipped below the horizon. But that night, as he edited footage in his apartment, his phone buzzed with a notification, a new voice memo he didn't record. He pressed play. "Mark." The same distorted whisper. From his own phone. In his own home. His bedroom door creaked open on its own. The next week became a living nightmare. Sleep paralysis pinned him nightly, a looming shadow figure with hollow eyes watching from the corner. His phone would record by itself, filling with whispers. "You heard me. Let me in." Then came the night he awoke to his phone floating mid-air, its screen glowing an unnatural blue. The voice boomed from its speaker. "I'm here." The shadow figure lunged from the darkness. Mark woke screaming, his sheets soaked with sweat. His phone lay on the floor, recording. Trembling, he pressed stop. The playback made his soul shrivel. "Next time you won't wake up." The psychic's parlor smelled of sage and candle wax, the air thick with something unseen. Lauren sat across from Madame Rosa, who held her hands with an unsettling grip. "There's something with you," the medium whispered, her milky eyes unfocused. Asterisk, "a presence, it's been following you since the hospital." Asterisk. Lauren's breath caught, she'd never mentioned her late-night shifts in the ER. Madame Rosa's voice turned urgent. Asterisk, "Don't acknowledge it. Don't speak to it. It feeds on attention." Asterisk, she pressed a rosary into Lauren's palm. Asterisk, "Ignore the whispers." Asterisk. That night, alone in her apartment, Lauren laughed it off, until the bathroom faucet turned on by itself. The mirror fogged up, a single word appearing in the condensation. "Hello." Curiosity overpowered fear. Asterisk, "Who are you?" Asterisk, she breathed. The lights flickered. Something inhaled sharply behind her, but nothing was there. The next week, the rules were broken one by one. She answered the shadow that darted past her periphery. She replied to the guttural whispers through her bedroom wall. Each response made it bolder. Then came the nightmares, a gaunt figure standing over her hospital bed, its mouth sewn shut with black thread. It would lean closer each night, the stitches straining. One evening, Lauren awoke to her sheets tugging downward. The rosary around her neck burned like ice. Something was under her bed, breathing in jagged, wet rasps. "I see you," she dared to whisper. Silence. Then, a skeletal hand slammed onto the mattress beside her face, the stench of rotting flesh flooding the room. The stitches on its lips burst open, revealing a blackened tongue that curled into a smile. Madame Rosa's final warning echoed in Lauren's mind as the thing crawled onto the bed. Asterisk, once it knows you can see it, it never leaves. Asterisk. The dream began peacefully, warm sunlight streaming through Grandma Eleanor's kitchen window, the scent of cinnamon rolls wrapping around Noah like a hug. She stood by the stove, her floral apron tied neatly around her waist, just as he remembered. Then she turned. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "Noah," she whispered, clutching his arm with cold fingers. "When you see me again, don't." He woke with a gasp, her unfinished warning hanging in the dark. 3 days after the funeral, Noah saw her for the first time. A glimpse of gray hair in his bedroom mirror. The shuffle of her slippers in the hallway. Each time he turned, nothing was there, just the lingering scent of her rose perfume. Then, at 3:17 a.m., she appeared at the foot of his bed. Moonlight outlined her frail frame, her favorite nightgown swaying slightly. But the details were wrong. Her neck bent at an unnatural angle. Her lips moved out of sync with the words. Asterisk, "I miss you, darling." Asterisk. Noah's breath fogged in the suddenly freezing room. Asterisk, "Grandma." Asterisk. Her head tilted too far. Asterisk, "Come give me a hug." Asterisk. Every instinct screamed no. The next morning, Noah found his childhood photo album open to a torn page, Grandma Eleanor's face scratched out in every picture. That's when he noticed the handwriting on the fridge, beneath her old grocery list. "Let me in." That night, she appeared in the kitchen, her back to him. The radio played her favorite song, a warped, slowed-down version. "Noah," she crooned, shoulders shaking. Asterisk, "Why won't you hug me?" Asterisk. As she turned, the light caught her too wide smile, her jaw unhinging like a snake's. The thing wearing Grandma's skin took a shambling step forward, bones cracking with each movement. Noah finally understood her warning. Some doors shouldn't be opened. Some visitors shouldn't be welcomed. And some things love playing pretend.